Okay, so regarding the content management system, it's better you have the subheading. And can anyone confirm we did write about these things, right? Finally, as I remember, I asked you to draw this diagram onto your book. Isn't that, people? Right, great. Okay, so after that diagram, let's have the this particular heading, content management system. So then after, yeah, copy down the very first 2 lines, the first paragraph. And after the first paragraph, I want you to have these 2 things as 2 points under the subheading of advantages, right? So these are the 2 points, very easy and fast, and you don't need while. It's very easy and fast is going to be a 1 point, and no prior knowledge of computer languages is required is another point. So 2 points under the subheading advantages, right? So after this paragraph, then you put advantages. These are the 2 advantages. Right. So let me write it over here. So advantages. Seran, in web authoring tool, it can be found in offline. Most probably it can be found in offline, right? So we are like using that to design it, but publishing and all these things is a separate work. But when it comes to CMS, everything is there. So I show you last week about my website. So when I'm having Joomla, I can edit my website and then and there I can publish it. But using only web authoring tool, we can only design the thing. Later we have to translate to the relevant folder structure in the server. Then we have to take care of the publishing as a separate work, right? So with the CMS, it's not like that, right? So these are the advantages. Please write it one after the other. right? Then yeah, then these are going to be the disadvantages. Right, so the disadvantages are going to be, this is going to be disadvantages. This is the next disadvantage. So these things are the disadvantages. Right, so the monotonous means like appears as same, right? And again, that can be changed when you are having the knowledge about HTML, PHP, JavaScript, CSS, SQL. So it can be changed. It is very possible to do the changes. Let me know when you are done, people. Okay, one is done. How about others? Okay, two are done. Can we move? Is there anyone still writing this? Okay. All right. So we are going to move. I'm going to clear the annotations as well. Yes, I couldn't mention you after the previous part. Please have these things as well. And you really don't need to write these URLs, people, right? It's just showing you how to, what are the links to the download part. So it's just Joomla, WordPress, and Drupal is enough. Some of the CMS softwares are as follows. Some open code CMS software are as follows. Then Joomla, WordPress, and Derber. So some people were late for come to the session. So I am sending this image for you to get what we have written previously. So you may copy it from that part, right? Those are the things that we have done. Right. Okay, are we done with this, people?
Yes, sir.
Right. How about others? Okay. So moving forward, this is regarding, this is describing how a website is designed using CMS software. So we have talked about this thing, right? And I'm not going to take you through these installation steps, right? I have shown you the things, right? I have told you this Apache, PHP, and MySQL, those three components should be there in our computer to have an environment like a server, right? And I told you without having these three things installed separately into our computer, installing one of these things, this WAMP server or this SAM server, will give us all three components, all these three components as a one bundle when you are having the WAMP or SAM, right? So then you have to download the Joomla, or you can like go to this particular web URL and install Joomla online, right? Then after you have to like go with that, right? Open the Joomla and do the designing part, right? So I'm not going to write over those things. So the next one is about the roles related to the web designing. Now this is pretty easy. Like this is something based on the industry, right? So when it comes to the web designing, there will be an author who is designing the interface of the website, and there will be an editor who is responsible to write the codes and check for errors and rectify those things. So yeah, like you can say debug those errors, right? And publishers are there who will fulfill the task relating the publishing part, right? So some different kinds of publishers are there everywhere, right? And administrators, right? So he has the responsibility of maintain the web server and the database, right? So he's the one who looks into the web server and the database and maintaining the content of the database and the web server related things. And user is us, which is using the website. They're actually not involved in editing anything, but just we are referring that particular website. And if it is a dynamic one, the user may involve in changing the contents, like a social media web page. So in social media web page, if you put a comment, you are just changing the content of the web page as a user, right? So you may know, like as a if the website is present as a static website, you won't be able to interact If it is present as a dynamic website, you will be able to do the interaction and change in the content on the web page up to some extent. It's not an unlimited or like you are not given the total authority to do the changes, right? So up to some extent, the users are capable of changing the content of a dynamic website. Right. So then after the publication of websites are there, so like we'll go through the we'll write through the important parts only regarding this, because it has a huge note regarding that. Some of the things we have discussed already, right, in the internet lesson, like domain name and all these things, right? Anyway, to public a website, or like if you want to publish a website, we need these things. We need web designing software, so it can be a web authoring tool or a CMS kind of thing. And you need a web host, right, who is allowing you to the server space, Saran, I'll come to that. And the domain name, that is to show, or like that is to brand our website, like what is the website name in very short way. So like when it comes to any website, you got a domain name, like www.google.com is the domain name, starapps.lk is a domain name, facebook.com is a domain name, instagram.com is a domain name, wikipedia.com is a domain name. Likewise, you need a domain name, and you can't use it's like this, you have to purchase the domain name from the domain name providers, right? You can't just put a domain name at your will and publish a website. It should be registered on the domain name providers, and the server will cross-check when you are saying that you own this kind of domain name. The server will cross-check whether you really own that domain name, right? Then it will allow you to do the changes to the server, right? And then you need a file transfer protocol. In some times you may need a file transfer protocol, but not all the times, right? And definitely an internet connection, right? So yeah, before we move to the details, let's write about these things, right? So have this subheading, roles related to the web designing, and yeah, you may list down these 6 things. That will be enough. We don't need anything else. And Saran, I have learned many languages, but like for decades, I am involving with only 3 different languages, it is because I have to teach those things to you. So the first one is Pascal, which I have taught you, and the other one is the Python, which I'm teaching for the A-level people. Like when it comes to the programming language, I'm a little bit into the Arduinos, right? When we need to program the robotics and all these things. And other than that, as a markup language, I know HTML, CSS, and PHP. And what else do I know SQL, structured query language. And it is basically the things that I need to teach you, and I'm going through those things for like for decades. Like before that, in my degree, when I'm acquiring my degree qualification, I have learned about the C language, C++ language, and Java, and I got the professional Java qualification like back in 2007 or 8, as I remember. And like on those days, I had that ID like saying that this person is a Sun certified Java programmer. But then after, actually, I didn't went through the Java programming part. So it is not that much I didn't get that much of use from Java. Yeah, Minul, it's like this. The one reason that I took is like using the Joomla, Minul, like the time that I'm spending on the templates, the time that I'm spending on the other customizations and all these things, it will take time for me. So the first thing is I don't have that much of time. That's why I use a template. Otherwise, I have to like start it from the scratch. The first thing is I'm out of time. So with my work schedule, I have to do it simple and fast as possible, right? So it is one reason that I have acquired Joomla kind of thing, and it's always good to go with from the scratch if you got the time, right? And again, with the control panel, the server-side control panel that you are receiving, you are given many different facilities through that. It's not only Joomla. You will be given the database management tools and all these things. So we can have those things integrated and go for something much suitable for me, right? But for you people, yeah, I'm telling you to like start from the scratch. So you will, the first thing is you will gain a very good knowledge. Yeah, definitely. So like when the hosting, with the hosting service control panel is the place that I have installed the Joomla. You know, without that, I can't install Joomla, right? So like when you are having the first thing, uh, like we discussed, the first thing you have to collect is the domain name and the server. That means the hosting service, right? So when you purchase the server people will give you a control panel, right? So that control panel will have uh, Joomla installation, WordPress installation. If you want to code it by yourself, there is an editor, right? All the things are there, right? So it's your choice. You can either use a CMS can be installed into the server space and work with the CMS, or else you can work with the coding, like I said earlier, the previous day, and you can upload the code into the www folder. Then you can maintain at your will, right? So it has both up and downs, right? Specifically when it comes to the time constraints, right? So are we done with this, people? Okay. Is there anyone still copying this part? Okay, so I'm moving forward. So regarding the publication of website, you may have the heading. Yeah. So yeah, it's better you write this stuff. Then let's talk about those briefly, right? And people, now we are able to finish this up by today itself, as I'm planning. Yeah. So by next week, I'm going to start the last lesson. then the week after, I'm going to discuss a paper, right? So I want you to get ready with the O-level past paper book, right? So if you don't have, there are papers in the internet, so you can download the things. So get ready with the 2007 past paper, right? 2007. So we are going to discuss the 2007 MCQ paper, not with the next week, but the week after, right? So you have to time it and do the paper. It's a 1 hour paper, only the MCQ paper, just do the MCQ paper for that week, right? So because I'm planning to do the paper like week after a week, right? Not like next. Saran, yeah, I will send you some links, even though even I have some papers, I don't remember really whether I'm having the 2007 one, right? So I'll search and send the paper too, as well as you can download it from the internet if you just find it like O-level 2007 ICT paper English medium. You just search it. There are many links, right? And I will provide the things as well. Search and provide the things. So I want you to do the first paper of 2007, right? So time it and do it, right? It is not for the next week, but the week after, right? So thereafter, we are going to go on that manner. 1 week we are discussing the lesson, and another week we are discussing the paper, right? So once the last lesson is done, we are going for the full papers. So on those days, you have to do the entire paper at home and get ready for the discussion, right? So that is how the things are going to happen very soon, right? So for yourself, there are papers which is starting from 2007 up until 2020, right? So it's like 14 number of papers. So we are targeting majorly on those things, right? So we'll discuss that and we'll see how we are going to get ready for the answering part, right? So you've got 2 weeks of time to go through your syllabus and we do the rehearsing part, right? And I will revisioning you the things which are not very much clear with, right? So we'll do it on that manner. So when a paper or two is done, you can understand the position that you are in, right? So you can ask the questions, or you can ask to clarify some things which is not clear with you after those two papers, right? So you will know what is the position that you are in, and you'll get to know what are the things that you can do and what are the things that you are weak with, right? So you can ask for those subject matters from me to clear, right? So we'll clear the things like that and we'll move forward, right? So that is how the way that you are going to go. So get ready, right? So by next week, we are going to do the new lesson. So the week after, we are going to discuss the first paper of the 2007 O-level, right? Okay, so yeah, now this is talking about the web host. So because they are not talking about the web designing software, it is the one which we have discussed all through the lesson. So the web host. So as I told you, web host is the one which provides the server space for us, right? So it's like you can't create your own web hosting service, or like you can't create your own web server. I'm sorry, if you don't have the resources that you want, right? But there are people who can rent you the server spaces on behalf of you, or to have your website to be hosted on someone else's server, right? And there are two types of hosting services that you can find. It's like some are giving the hosting services as a free service, but there are disadvantages. For learning purpose, that is a great tool, or that's a great way of doing it. But when you are like if I think you have heard about the WordPress and all these free hosting services, which allow you to do the things, right? And when you publish your website, it will be published like a website which is on another website, right? Then go to WordPress free website එකක් හදලා publish කරොත්, so it's going to start from like let's say ඔයගොල්ලෝ website එකට දීපු නම abc.com now, right? ඔයගේ domain name එක. So it's going to be like www.wordpress/abc.com, something like that is going to be there, right? So it is because that service is given to us as a free service, right? And again, when you are having the free hosting service, you will be getting a lot of unwanted or like the කාරදරකාර දේවල් ඔයගලන්ට එනවා, like the advertisements, their banners, right? Sometimes your website is going to be not in a not responding state, right? Because when I was new to the hosting, I was using a web server which is a free hosting service called 000 host, 000 web host, as I remember, right? So that is a free hosting service, and they have this argument, or like they have this agreement to sleep my website for a certain amount of period, right? Then like when it comes to a website, it doesn't sleep like that, right? It's up and working, right? So but because it is providing as a free service, it is the terms are like that, but we can actually choose when our website is going to sleep, right? So I chose like right, okay, Minul. So infinityfree.net, that's what Minul is recommending. Yeah, there are many things like 000 web host one. The advantage that I took is it is not showing any advertisements. Right now, when it comes to the WordPress and all other CMSs, they are like providing the advertisement without our authorization. It is because we are like on their host without any payment, like it's like free. So actually nothing is free on the world. So like ඒගොල්ලෝ free කියලා කරන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ advertisement එක දාගන්න තැනක් අපිට කියලා හදාගන්න එක, right? So that was a bit of a headache for me. That is why I searched for something which is not a free hosting service, which is not putting any advertisement on my web pages. So 000webhost.com was a good alternative, but it has some other disadvantages. Okay, control panel like limited, right? Very limited things can be done, right? But it is good to have the experience, right? And yeah, like the things that you have said. Yeah, now it's like this, only a paid domain is not sufficient. You should have a paid domain plus paid server space. Where paid domain එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන් WordPress වලට, but still that domain is shown like WordPress/something.com or .lk or something like that. Right, you should have both to have your own name on it, right? The matter starlabs.lk කියන domain එක විතරක් purchase කරලා I can't go for the I can't ask them to show my domain name only on the web browser. They are not doing that. So if the server is yours, if the server is for free, they will put the advertisements, right? It doesn't matter. දැන් server එක provide කරන කට්ටිය ගොඩක් වෙලාවට they are providing a domain name for free. ඒකත් free නෙවෙයි. What they are doing is ඒගොල්ලෝ දෙකටම යන ගාන server එකට කියලා අරගන්නවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ. right ඔයගොල්ලෝ hostgate එක ගිහිල්ලා server එකක් purchase කරොත් server space එකක් purchase කරොත් ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ plan එකේ තියෙන්නේ like one domain name is given to you, there are subdomains, this much of server space is given, okay, this much of this is the amount that you have to pay, right? Likewise, so you should need both the domain name and the server space for yourself. So you have to pay and take both the things. Then you can manage the things by yourself, right? Okay, Serran, what? Yeah, when we are making the okay, yes, yeah, Serran. So that is the motive of the CMS. Then the mage website එකේ තියෙන Serran theme එකක් තමයි. එතකොට මම මුකුත් ඒකේ appearance part එකට user interface part එකට මම මුකුත් අත ගහන්නේ නැහැ. They are just providing me the things, so I'm just using that, that's all, right? එතකොට මේ මට තියෙන්නේ logo එක upload කරන්න Star Labs කියලා තියෙන තැනට මෙතන නිකන් type කරන්න තියෙන්නේ, right? So these blue color banners, these menus, all these things are given by them, right? So මම placements හදා ගන්නවා මේකේ. That's all I have to do, right? CMS එකක තියෙන වාසිය ඒකයි ඔයාට themes පාවිච්චි කරලා ඔයාට already predefined කරපු website එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔයාට තියෙන්නේ content manage කරන්න. ඒකනේ CMS කියන්නේ, content management system. So you only need to change the contents, right? එහෙම නැතුව ඔයාට ඕන නම් like you can create a website by your own, like from the scratch, as Minul asked, right? එතකොට ඒක ඔයාට ඕනම විදිහට manage කරන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් ඊතක්සලාව website එක those teachers have done from the scratch, right? හැම එකක්ම හැම JavaScript එකක්ම හැම CSS එකක්ම ඒගොල්ලෝ අතින්ම ලියලා හදපු එක 100% teachers ලා එකතු වෙලා හදපු website එකක් ඒ තියෙන්නේ. ලංකාවෙම ඉන්න ගොඩාක් teachers ලා මගේ contribution එකක් තියෙනවා. Like there are like almost more than 1,000 teachers, right? ලංකාවෙම ඉන්න කට්ටිය තැන් වලින්. එතකොට buttons create කරන කට්ටිය, contents create කරන කට්ටිය ඒගොල්ලෝ වෙනම එකතු වෙලා තමයි ඒක develop කරේ. So it is not a content management system. They have purchased a server space and they have the control panel. They create the contents and upload it and then they publish it. ඒකට ඒගොල්ලෝ Moodle content management system එක පාවිච්චි කරා පොඩි කොටසකට contents ටික manage කරගන්න. But the Serran, it's like this. Time period එක ගැන කිව්වොත් Serran, like you can't fix this much of time will take, right? Then ඒක ඔයාගේ experience එකයි ඔයාගේ efficiency එකයි. නැත්නම් team එකේ efficiency එකයි එක තමයි depend වෙන්නේ. And then again the content. Then ඊතක්සලාව වගේ website එකක් maintain කරන්න ගියොත් it has a huge content, right? ඉතින් ඔය එක තනියෙන් කරනවා නම් ලොකු කාලයක් යනවා, right? But if you are maintaining a website like mine, it won't take so long to set up. If you know the tools, you just purchase a domain, you purchase a web server, and you just take a theme එකක් තෝරගන්න ටිකක් වෙලා යන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද ඔයාට set වෙන theme එක අරගන්න ඕනේ. I have done this website like මට week එකක් විතර ගියා. මොකද මම මුළු week එකේම මේක වෙනුවෙන් වැය කරේ නැහැ. පොඩි වෙලාවල් අරගෙන මම week එකක් විතර ගිහිල්ලා මගේ major setup එක setup කරගත්තා. එතකොට මේ time table එක දාන එක lesson recordings ටික මම අලුතෙන් integrate කරේ, right? It is because of this online thing. This GIT one was there. It is just displaying the notes for the GIT, and about us was there. Make it mama gallery එකට මම අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ කියන්නේ gallery module එක. I can it is given by the CMS. right මට මේක pictures ටික දාන්න විතරයි තියෙන්නේ යා මේ presentation එක automatically හදලා දෙනවා and contact us එකේ මේ ටික මම hard code කරා මෙතනට Google Map module එකක් දාලා තියෙන්නේ එකෙන් connect වෙන්න පුළුවන් live පෙන්නනවා කියන්නේ live කියලා කියන්නේ location එක මගේ පෙන්නනවා privacy policy එක I have added recently right and this LMS you had the experience regarding that LMS එක එන්නේ මගේ වෙනම එකක් learning management system එක it is purely based on the Moodle another content management system right then me LMS එකක් වගේ maintain කරනකොට we need that kind of one මොකද අපිට තනියෙන් හදන්න ගියොත් ඒකේ contents හදන එක හරි අපහසුයි අපහසු කියන්නේ it takes times again right but Joomla එක integrate වෙන්න නැතුව we can have our own thing right so මම initial මගේ structure එක දේවල් කරගෙන මේක publish කරන තැනට එන්න it only took me week or maximum 2 මට මතක නැහැ හරියටම exactly when මෙච්චර ගියා කියලා but it was not a very big time right so ඕගොල්ලෝ මේක ගැන හුරු වෙනකොට first thing ඔය WordPress වගේ ඒවට ගිහිල්ලා you just try to create some contents right so like the wordpress.com gam so you can do the installation and all these things they will provide you the things right then මෙතන මේ Bluehost මේ මම ඉන්නේ Bluehost එකේ ඒකේ Bluehost කියලා කියන්නේ hosting company එකක් right so ඒගොල්ලෝ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට plans ටික තමයි දීලා තියෙන්නේ එක සැරේ මේ වගේ plans වලට යන්න එපා that is in vain right අපරාධේ ඔයා එහෙම කරනවා නම් WordPress වල register වෙලා WordPress හොඳයි තව තිබුණ website එකක් මට මතක නැහැ මොකක්ද කියලා so here you can start your website and they will instruct you how the things are going to happen right so you can create very nice things don't worry about the domain name for the moment domain name එක ඔයගලන්ට wordpress/wordpress.com දෙකනේ මෙන්න මේ විදිහට wordpress.com/ කියලා තමයි ඔයාගේ මේකේ නම දෙන්නේ free විදිහට මේක start කරා right so ඒක ගැන දැම්ම worry වෙන්න එපා right so you have to create an account for the first time then you can maintain the things ඔයගලන්ට මේක extension එකක් ගන්නත් පුළුවන් desktop එකට WordPress install කරගෙන machine එකට so machine එකට install කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ it's not installing into a computer they are just providing you the shortcuts to come and connect with this particular server online right අර එතකොට web browser එකක් open කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ normal program එකක් විදිහට double click කරලා ඔයගලන්ට open කරගන්න පුළුවන් ඒක විතරයි එයා එකෙන් හදලා දෙන්නේ so you just create an account and give it a shot right Yes, Seran. Yes, definitely. What Seran is asking is like when we are getting a website, they have given a specific storage that is for the website. Yeah, it is for the website. And if you want to increase it, Seran, you have to purchase a particular plan. Then ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපි ඔතනදී ටිකක් tactful වෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මම මගේ website එක manage කරනකොට මේ කරන දෙයක් තමයි like මගේ server space එක කියන්නේ මට server space ඒගොල්ලෝ දීලා තියෙනවා 100 GB වෙනකම් but මගේ server space එකේ මම එච්චර server space එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ මම මේ lessons recording ඔයගලන්ට දානකොට what I am doing is like I am uploading the things to the YouTube then I am just showing the YouTube video on my website that's all ඒ කියන්නේ මගේ web server එක ඇතුලේ මේ වීඩියෝ එක නැහැ මේ වීඩියෝ එක ඇත්තටම තියෙන්නේ YouTube එකේ මගේ channel එකේ මගේ YouTube channel එකේ තියෙන්නේ right so yeah so this is my YouTube channel right ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගලට YouTube ගියාමත් මේ මගේ website එකේ තියෙන videos ටික ඒ විදිහටම බලා ගන්න පුළුවන් so the only difference is මෙතන මේ ඔක්කොම ටික එකට තියෙන්නේ playlist වලට මම වෙන් කරලා තියෙනවා So you can go and see, so like watch for each and every playlist, right? Yeah, yes. Seran, it's like make a hyperlink එකක් තමයි, but we call this is not a hyperlinking part. This is we call as a embedded part. අපි කියනවා මේක embed කරලා තියෙනවා කියලා. Hyperlink එකක් වුණාම Seran, we have to click and do the things නේ. ඒතකොට එන්නේ link එකක්. Now here now these things are hyperlinks. Make a click කරාම මගේ server එකේ තියෙන English note කියන එක තමයි open වෙන්නේ. But this is not a hyperlink, this is embedded. Actually this is kind of a hyperlink, but embed කරාම තියෙන speciality එක තමයි you can watch the resource on here. මෙතන ඉඳන් බලන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Or YouTube යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Yes. We can make anything as a hyperlink, but this is not hyperlinking. This is just embedded part. So once you embed, you don't need to go to the original source. Then ඇත්තටම තියෙන්නේ මෙතන. දැන් මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකපු මේ තියෙන මේ උඩින්ම පේන තියෙන වීඩියෝ එක තමයි මේ මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. මම YouTube ගිහිල්ලා play කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. මට මෙතනින් play වෙන්න පුළුවන්. play කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර play වෙන්නේ ඇත්තටම YouTube එකේ තියෙන වීඩියෝ එකම තමයි. But this gives me a huge benefit to arrange my things and to present it in a very easy manner. දැන් මම ඔයගලන්ට YouTube ගිහිල්ලා හොයන්න කිව්වොත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ මගේ channel එකට ගිහිල්ලා playlist එකට ගිහිල්ලා එහෙම හොයාගෙන යනවා. ඒක ටිකක් සමහර විට hectic වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? But මම කිව්වම මේ website එකේ මෙන්න මෙතන තමයි මගේ ඒවා ටික තියෙන්නේ කියලා. එතන මගේ playlist එක ඔතනින් අරගන්න පුළුවන්. So you can have all the lessons which is listed on a particular class, right? Seran, I really don't have the idea because I'm adding the content like time to time. I'll see and tell you, right? I really don't have an idea. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට like 1 GB විතර, right? Right. Okay. Right. So yeah. Sorry for that. I think I have played something. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So that is the story regarding the hosting or the like publishing part of the website. And domain name, we talked about that in the internet lesson as well. So I'm not going to provide you the details, much more details regarding the domain names. So the only thing that you need to know regarding a website, you have to purchase a domain name from a domain name provider. So they have given some domain name providers like GoDaddy.com, Bluehost.com, nic.lk, right? So I have purchased my domain from the LK domains, right? Right. So, oh, I'm sorry. I was going to the Bluehost again. Right. So now here you can, like they have given the facility at the very first page. You can choose whether a particular web address is available to you. Now, if someone is searching for starlabs.lk to purchase, if it search, it should say it is not available. See, it says starlabs.lk. Sorry, this domain is taken. Try another. So you have to search for something else, right? So mamage naming hadanawa nang if I say yukanta.lk, if I search it, so yeah, so they say yukanta.lk is available, so I can purchase that, right? So these are the prices. Only the domain, it's 2,700, right? So this is the domain plus hosting, right? So the register.lk is also providing you the hosting, right? And this is with this hosting is given means you are given the control panel and the domain. So you have to build by your own, right? Control panel is given, so you have to go on that. Here the WordPress hosting. So you have specifically give the facility to create a WordPress website. So there are different kinds of facilities when it comes to the WordPress hosting, right? So likewise, you can purchase the things. So LK domain is just 2,700, right? So there will be an annual fee then after, right? For each annum, you have to pay a one, right? So so either you can just purchase the domain, or you can purchase the domain plus the hosting part. So the much better thing is this: if you really don't have the hosting space, or else if you want just the domain, you can purchase just the domain, right? And it's not only LK, you can purchase the com domains as well, right? මේගොල්ලෝ දෙනවද කියන එක මට ෂුවර් නැහැ. මේගොල්ලෝ මේ LK domains කියලාම මේ registered LK කියලාම ඉන්න නිසා. Yeah, they say it's .com is available. So it is much cheaper, 1,700, right? So likewise, you can search for a domain and you can go for that. Seran, Seran. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the hosting is happening. Most of the time, these hosts are in a very super speed internet connections with the internet, those internet connections. So the distance won't matter, right? මොකද දැන් එහෙම වුණොත් අපිට facebook.com එක තියෙන්නේ ඇමරිකාවලනේ. අපි මෙතනින් එනකොට අපිට settle වෙන්න වෙලා යනවා කියලා අපිට හිතන්න පුළුවන්. It's not like that. ඒගොල්ලෝ තව tactics පාවිච්චි කරනවා. They have their separate servers in all around the world. But again, it won't give you a problem because it is working in a very smooth manner, right? So yeah, so that is the story regarding the domain name. So domain name is the name of your website. So you have to purchase it from someone who is providing the domain names. So you have to pay it, pay and take, right? So when you are purchasing a domain, it's better you think about what kind of a top level domain that you are going to use. The mama LK පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ to indicate this is a Sri Lankan site, right? And so since when we are using the LK domains, the people who are seeing this can recognize, okay, this is like located in the Sri Lanka, right? We use com domains to indicate commercial purpose .coms. We use edu to indicate educational site. We use org to like non-profitable or like sometimes it's non-government type. Yeah, Minul, it's like this. Minul අහන්නේ මේ servers අයි ලංකාවේ locate වෙලා නැති කියලා. The problem is, Minul, those corporations willing to be put the host in Sri Lanka. එහෙම වෙන්න ඕනේ. කියන්නේ google.com එක ඒගොල්ලෝ කැමති වෙන්න ඕනේ මෙහි server එකක් locate කරගන්න. Because it's not our right to ask for them to come and establish a domain, come and establish a server over here. So those companies should take the decision where to place these domains, where to place these servers, right? So ඒගොල්ලෝ server එකක් locate කරනකොට ගොඩාක් වෙලාට ඒගොල්ලෝ බලනවා කියන්නේ පුළුවන් තරම් coverage එක වැඩි වෙන විදිහට domain එක place කරන්න, right? So එතනදී ඒගොල්ලෝ geographically කොච්චර දුරක් මේක යන්න ඕනේද, කොච්චර crowd එකකට effect වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද, ඉතින් ඔය කියන ඔක්කොම දේවල්, right? බලලා ඊට පස්සේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට servers locate වෙනකොට clusters විදිහට locate වෙන්නේ. Clusters කියලා කියන්නේ දැන් facebook.com එකේ server එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒක ලෝකේ පැතිරලා තියෙන තැන් වලට ලං වෙන්න තමයි අනිත් කට්ටියගේ servers තියෙන්නේ. මොකද ඒකට අර හරි ලේසි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ communications වලට. Right? So we are not a center for the servers so far. So we don't know, like maybe in the future, we may get a chance to do that, right? And the fact that you are saying is correct, Minul. So it will reduce the latency, but that is the problem. It's not our duty, or like it's not something for us to change. It's those corporations should take the decision. Right. So what I was talking about is it's better you think about what kind of a top level domain that you are going to use. So we talked about the top level domains in the internet lesson. It's like there are organizational hierarchy top level domains, geographical hierarchy top level domains, so it's better you go for the one which is best fit for you, right? So, and again, when you are using a domain name, this is something important. When you are choosing a domain name, it's better you have it something very clear name, or like something very easy to remember and something very easy to communicate. The මෙතන මේගොල්ලෝ පෙන්නලා තියෙනවා එක අවුලක්. මෙයා මේ පැත්තෙන් කියනවා myweb2.org. So ඒක communicate වෙන්න පුළුවන් myweb2.tu.org කියලා. So it's two different things. Right? So ඒක short වෙන තරමට වඩා හොඳයි and communicate කරන්න පුළුවන් එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? So those kind of things, it's better you concentrate. We talked about the file transfer protocol in the internet as well as one of the services of the internet, right? So as we talked about, when you are like designing a particular website by yourself, and when you are transferring the web designing resources, or like the web pages to your server, you may need a file transfer protocol, right? And internet connection, yeah, that is something we know. To connect with the internet, we need the internet connection. And when it comes to the server side, if the server side needs to be connected 24/7 or 365 days, it needs an internet connection as well, right? So you have to take the, you have to purchase the internet service from an internet service provider. So like all the telecommunication companies are now ISPs, like Sri Lanka Telecom, Lanka Bell, Mobitel, Dialog, Hutch. There are many, right? And yeah, before we come to the maintenance, let's note this down, right, people? So yeah, there's another question. Seran, it's like this. My domain name has a time period. Now, the May out the giveaway pass, expiry date take a Matetan inform Karnava. The Mageka May out the expire when the end Matamataka with the header next month, right? The matter equally calling notice your domain is about to expire. Please refresh that thing and renew that thing here. So then after I'll do the annual payment for them, so they will renew that. Ek part take cut down karanna hai. Mata inform karala magen respond ekak aawe nathu the 3-4 times remind karala එතකොට payment එකක් ආවෙ නැතිනොත් they'll take the one, right? එහෙම අරගන්නවා ඊට පස්සේ මට ආයි දෙන්නේ නැහැ කොච්චර pay කරත්. ඒ කියන්නේ කොච්චර pay කරත් කියන්නේ මම ඊට පස්සේ ආයි pay කරලා ගන්න ඕනේ. මට pay කරලා ගන්න වෙනකොට සමහරවිට ලොකු ගාණක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක කියන්න බෑ. ඒගොල්ලෝ demand කරන විදිය අනුව තමයි. Right? So it's better you remember and pay it on time. Right? මොකද මමත් මගේ server space එකට pay කරන date එකයි domain name එකට pay කරන date එකයි ගැන annual reminders දාලා තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මෙදාට pay කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. So when I'm getting the reminder on my phone, so I'm doing the payment. They block the website, Seran. ඒගොල්ලෝ domain name එක ගත්තම ඒගොල්ලෝ publish කරලා තියන්නේ නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලෝ web එක block කරනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ domain එක block කරනවා. දැන් මගේ Star Labs එක block වුණොත් starlabs.lk කියලා ගහුවට ඔයගලන්ට මොකුත් website එකක් එන්නේ නැහැ. කියන්නේ මගේ website එක පෙන්නන්නේ නැහැ. Right? Then after I have to activate it again. Somehow, take a purchase karla, somehow I have to activate it. Right, okay, so let's start with the web host. We'll write only the important stuff. So put a subheading web host, and yeah. Mhm. Yeah, now this paragraph is important. It says what is a web host is. So yeah, write down the highlighted part, people. Meanwhile, I'll highlight the things what you need to write on as the next one. Yeah, copy those things, people. Okay, one is done. Yeah, two is done. Seran, sometimes, yes. මට එක එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකක් තියෙනවා එතනදී නම් ගැටලුනේ මට ඒ control panel එක ආයි හම්බුනේ නැහැ. So එහෙම වුණාම I have to do it from the beginning, but අපිට backups තියාගෙන ඒක manage කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Okay, so regarding the domain name, people, it's better you go for this. Yeah, started from here, and I couldn't tell you about this organization, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. They are the one who is responsible of providing these domain names and all these things, right? And those register.lk, GoDaddy, Bluehost, NIC kind of things. ඒගොල්ලෝ මේගොල්ලන්ගේ agents ලා වගේ වැඩ කරන්නේ. Yeah, මේ ටික අපි මෙහෙම ලියාගමු. Minul, yes, for basic things, it is enough, I guess, right? Now, like now, it is just some like if you think about my website, it's just a collection of some text and all these things, right? So it won't incur me a lot of web space, right? But then ඕක මෙහෙමයි වෙන්නේ අපි තනියෙන් ඕක maintain කරනවා නම් there will be some problems. Then මම යන්නේ shared server space එකකනේ. So ඒතර මගේ website එකට අවශ්‍ය වෙන space එක තමයි 1 GB වෙන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ තව services වලට spaces require වෙනවා නම් ඒක ඒගොල්ලෝ shared විදිහට අපිට දෙනවා. And that is why they are like charging from us. Right? Contents වලට තමයි ඒ storage ඇත්තටම storage වලට තමයි 1 GB දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Excuse me. Seran, no. Like YouTube does not get in any things from the users, or like they are not getting paid by the users. they will get paid from the commercials that they are committed to, right? Advertisements වලින්. ඒතර advertisement එක දාන කෙනා YouTube එකට pay කරන්න ඕන. ඒ වයින් තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ හොයන්නේ. දැන් එතන video contents අපිට දෙන්නේ free of charge. Yes, so when you are continuing, yeah, now you don't need to copy this part, but there is an important fact that they are saying. Up here, the domain name and the host, the hosting service as a bundle. So like what they are saying is it's good to purchase the domain separately, because if you are like if you are going to put your domain in a different server for some reason, it's going to cause you some problems if you purchase the domain and the server space together. එදෙන එකට ගත්තොත් domain name එක විතරක් වෙන තැනක අපි ඔකට කියනවා domain එක ගිහිල්ලා park කරනවා කියලා තැනක. ඒතකොට දැන් මගේ domain එක ගත්තම domain එක විතර නම් මට තියෙන්නේ I can park it in anywhere because I only owns the domain. But if I get the domain plus the hosting or the server space together, I can't just take out only the domain from that package. So what they are advising is like purchasing the domain separately is a good thing to do, right? Then you can park it at anywhere. සමහරලාට cost එක චුට්ටක් එහෙට මෙහෙට වෙන්න පුළුවන්, but it facilitates you, right? And yeah, I want you to write these things to be considered when selecting a domain name to a website, right? And of that, yeah, write this part. No examples needed. Yeah, second point is also needed. Okay, once you're done with those two, I'll go to the other part as well. I hope everyone has done things up to this point, starting from ICANN to this point, then after these two. Yes, Minul, yes. Like එහෙම සිද්ධ වෙච්ච වෙලාවල් තියෙනවා මිනුල් අහන්නේ කියන්නේ අපි commercial website එකක් හදන්න කලින් ඒකේ domain name එක ඒක ඇත්තටම මිනුල් it is like purchasing the possible domain names regarding the company. Then Coca-Cola company එක Coca-Cola ළඟින් යන්න පුළුවන් හැම domain එකක්ම ඒගොල්ලෝ purchase කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැති වුණාට they have purchased. Coke, Coca ඔය කියන ඔක්කොම ටික ඒගොල්ලෝ purchase කරලා තියෙනවා. They are not available. right? එතකොට දැන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට හිතන්නකෝ දැන් හොඳ company එකක්. right? අපි හිතමුකෝ the fashion industry එකේ තියෙන cool planet කියලා, right? So cool planet එකට cool planet එක build up වෙලා එනකොට කවුරු හරි කෙනෙක් coolplanet.lk කියන එක purchase කරලා තිබුණා. Either the cool planet needs to find some other domain, or cool planet needs to find the person who owns the coolplanet.lk then they have to purchase from that particular line. So in that point, ඒක අයිති මට නම් මට කියන්න පුළුවන් ගානක් ඒගොල්ලන්ට. Right? So මම කිව්වොත් I want 1 million for this particular domain කියලා. If they really want to purchase that, they will pay me 1 million and take it. Right? එහෙම වෙච්ච අවස්ථා තියෙනවා. pay කරලා ගන්න වෙනවා. So දැන් නම් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඒගොල්ලෝ alternatives වලට යනවා. Right? But if it is a major thing, there are situations that they do those kind of things. And yeah, write the third point entirely. I'll reduce the size of the page so you can see what are the things that we have highlighted. Okay, one is done. How about others? All right. Shall we move forward then? Is there anyone still writing? Okay, so regarding the file transfer protocol, yeah, you may write the first paragraph plus the examples. That's enough. And regarding the internet connection, yeah, first paragraph plus these providers. It's better you go with all 4 examples. Yeah. These are the things regarding the file transfer protocol and the internet connection. Yeah, Saran, it is because of this. Now, to website, like to be a secured website, a website need to use the secured protocol of the internet, which stands like HTTPS. Now, mine has only HTTP. Because HTTPS we have to pay for the security as well. So HTTPS කියන එක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ for the websites which are using sensitive data. Like if your website is about to have your personal details. Yes, everyone needs to pay means if you like ඒ කියන්නේ domain name එක ගන්නකොට ඔයා secured payment එක secured website එකක් වෙන option එක ඔයාලට ටික් කරන්න පුළුවන්. So එහෙම ටික් කරොත් ඔයාගේ HTTPS කියලා තමයි domain name එක ඒගොල්ලෝ indicate කරන්නේ internet වල. So ඒ කියන්නේ IT එක්කෙනා domain name එක ගන්න කෙනා විතරයි. දැන් මට මගේ එක secured කරන්න ඕන නම් I have to have that. Still wordpress.com මට ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ subdomain එකේ එන නිසා සමහර විට ගැටලුවක් නොවෙන්න පුළුවන්. But WordPress through a hosting පැත්තට යනවා නම් still you have to purchase the security. Minul, I really don't have the idea. Just I'll check it and tell you. Hold on. Yeah, now as the internet says, it has different kinds of secured certificates. So which is starting from $8 per year, right? So they have different kinds of versions of them. So I have to read what are the versions are there for. So like it is starting from $8 per year. And I think it's regarding the security level that is provided. And it goes like there is a certificate for $984 per year, right? That means almost $1,000 per year. The security level එක අනුව තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ cost එක change වෙනවා ඇත්තේ, right? So to have that HTTPS, we call the certificate that we have to collect is the SSL certificate, right? So yeah, now yeah, that is how they said. Okay, are we done, people? All right. Right. So if you are done, let's discuss about, okay. Yeah, here we got a very small part of the maintenance. I'll just say it to you so you can complete it at home. Give me 2 minutes to talk about this. So this lesson is officially done. So we can start the new lesson by next week. So it is about the maintenance of the website, right? So now establishing a website, you need like certain things to be purchased, right? So you need a particular host, you need a particular domain name, you need internet connection, right? You need FTP, all these things. So like establishing and maintaining is two different things. ගොඩක් අය establish කරලා maintain කරන්න නැති වෙලා යනවා. So the website will be an outdated one. You have to maintain it properly. So otherwise, the cost that you have spent on the establishment will be in vain, right? Because if a website is maintained properly, then the audience will be captured to it always, right? The මගේ වෙබ්සයිට් එකට වීඩියෝස් ටික අප්ලෝඩ් කරන නිසානේ වීඩියෝස් බලන්න ඕන ඇවිල්ලා එතනින් බලාගෙන යන්නේ. So if I'm not entering anything, so there is no much reason for anyone to like visit here, right? So I'm maintaining my biggest purpose. Now my biggest purpose is this, maintaining the video lessons for others to see, right? So likewise, you have to understand what is the maintenance point. Then you have to do it for the website. Otherwise, it won't last long, right? So, and again, you have to be very careful of the things that you are publishing on your website. So there can be unwanted things, there can be harmful things, right? Like viruses and all these things. So you have to be very sure about the contents that you are publishing on your website, right? Because website is something open for everyone, right? So in case if you got a virus or something in your website, so that is going to be spread all over the network or the users, right? ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ පැත්තෙන් security purposes තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? But still there is a risk, right? And again, if you got new versions of the tools that you are using, it's better you do it by updating the things, right? එදා මම Joomla වලට log වෙනකොට ඔයගලන්ට මතක ඇති උඩ ඇවිල්ලා තිබ්බ updates දෙකක්, right? Joomla මෙන්න මේ version එක update වුණා හරි මොකක්ද messages දෙකක්. So it's better to keep it up to date. Otherwise, new technologies will not be able to integrate with this, right? So what do you need to do is, since you are doing this at home, you can like copy the entire thing to your book, right? So copy this entire maintenance of the website, this, and please have this summarized picture on your book, right? So page number 166 will be your homework, right? So please have it. And we are going to start the new lesson by next week. Then we are going to discuss the 2007 paper week after. I'll put the paper to the groups as well, right? So, and if you got the past paper book by your side, so you can start doing it. So before, give it a try, have a little revision in part, right? Then after you go it and time it and do. හරියටම පැයයි තියෙන්නේ, පැයක් හරියටම time කරලා ප්‍රශ්න 40 කරන්න. Be honest to yourself. Right? Test yourself, right? එහෙම මෙහෙම බලබලා කරන්න එපා. එතකොට ඔයාට ඔයාගේ මට්ටම හිතා ගන්න බැරි වෙනවා. Right? So you have to assess yourself. That is why we are doing the papers, right? So when on a day, once you assess yourself, it's better you advance, like paper by paper. Right? Yeah, Saran, now it's whole 2 books, grade 10 and grade 11. ඒ දෙකේම ඔක්කොම ඒවා එකපාරට රිවයිස් කරන්න බැහැනේ. ඔයාට වීක් කියලා ඔයාට දැන් සෙන්ස් වෙලා තියෙන ටික රිවයිස් කරලා පේපර් එක කරන්න. කරාම ඔයාට තේරෙයි තව මොනවාද ඔයාට රිහර්ස් වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. paper by paper you should improve. That is why we are starting from 2007. Right? So 2007 එකේ all syllabus එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔයාලට කරන්න අමාරු මොනවා හරි හම්බුනොත් you leave it and go. So you will understand if it is because of all syllabus or maybe because of you don't know how to do it, right? So you can leave it and go, the things that you can't do, but be honest to yourself, right? ඒක බලලා ඔයාව හරියට ඔයා assess කරගන්න, right? දැන් මේ වෙලාවේ class එකේ ඕගලන්ට online class එක කරනකොට තියෙන එකම දේ ඒක. Be honest to yourself and assess. So එහෙම වුණොත් විතරයි ඔයාට highest result එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ examination එකේ. Right? class එකට නිකන් මට පෙන්නන්න හරි එහෙම දේවල් කරන්න එපා. Right? Don't cheat yourself, right? මොකද එතනදී රැවටෙන්නේ ඔයා, right? පොතෙන් බලලා කරන්න හරි උත්තර බලලා කරන්න හරි කොහොම හරි ඒක ඔයා honestly කරන්න. ඒක තමයි වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඔයා දන්නවා ඔයා කොතනද ඉන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ ඔයාට තේරෙනවා ඔයාට improve වෙන්න නම් මොනවාද හදාගන්න ඕනේ. I'll help for those things, right? That is why we are starting the papers, right? So please complete this. 2007, yes, 2007 all-level pass paper, right? I'll put the pass paper as well, right? So and meanwhile, please complete this. The page number 166. So we are starting the new lesson by next week. Week after, we are going to discuss the 2007 MCQ paper, right? Not the whole paper, MCQ paper. Then after we go for the second one. ඔයාට first paper එක කරලා වෙලාව තිබ්බොත් second paper එකත් time කරලා කරන්න, right? Okay, so people, I'll end the session from here for today and we'll meet on next week for the very same time, right? Thank you very much and have a very good night, people.